Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel once again. In this video, we will discuss what is state management in Flutter and how many ways we can achieve state management in Flutter and what is the best approach suggested by Flutter team. If you are new to this channel, then please do subscribe and share it with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get benefit from this video. So without wasting much time, let's jump into the coding. In order to save some time, I have already created a goalbook app. The purpose of this goalbook app is to store our goals for future reference, or it will remind us to follow that goal on the particular time. Keeping this goal book aside, let's understand what is the actual state management work in Flutter or in terms of coding. State management is a mechanism to update the value of a particular property available inside a widget. That widget might be present inside a widget tree. So let me give an example. I have a 5 widgets and that 5 widgets are available inside a main component. So I have a button in my main component, and with the click of that button some operations are happening, like insertion is either insertion or deletion or any update operations are happening. So my requirement is that the value the recent value should be updated in all the 5 widgets. What we generally do is we either pass the callback functions into all the child widgets, or either we pass the recent value as inside the constructor and we update the value in all the widgets. But that leads to the boilerplate coding and on not maintainable codes in terms of large scale applications. To avoid that, what we can do to use the Flutter to use the provider package in Flutter, go to pub.dev site and look for provider. Go to the installation section, copy this provider and put it under the dependency section of your pubspec.yml file. I have already done it and save it. It will pull all the required dependencies file or the required files to use this provider in our Flutter app. Before doing anything, just let me walk you through what I have already done so that it will be clear to you all. If you go to this app, there is nothing, is a app bar title and there is a new goal, a floating action button. When I'm clicking on this new goal floating action button, I'm opening a model bottom sheet, a normal model bottom sheet. Like you can say here, I have given a enter new goal and I have given a save button. The purpose of this new goal button is to enter our goal for the tomorrow's purpose or anything. That the reason is different. When I go to this model bottom sheet, I'm just taking an input and I'll be saving it. Once we save, our purpose will be to save that record and show that value in a list view. Here you can see I have another widget here in as inside body as a goal list. This goal list will have a list of records once we enter through this model bottom sheet, and it will render the number of records that is present inside the goals. To do so, what generally we would have done is, once we enter through this model bottom sheet menu, once we click on this save, which is available inside the model bottom sheet, we could have call a callback function from this goal list by passing from here to and having a method inside available here and updating the value with the set state, and that goals list would have updated. But if consider if we have multiple widgets, like goal list is a widget or component. If we have 10 to 15 or more than 15s in a large scale application, passing values inside a constructor or either as a callback function would be a difficult to maintain, or would be a difficult to manage the state of each widget. It might impact or it might hamper the performance, or it might crash the app if you are not properly managing the state of those widgets. To avoid that situation, what Flutter has provided is the provider package. Let's see how we can implement provider in our app. So I have already saved this provider package inside the popspec.yml file, then go to this main component, and as you can see I have already created a goal provider dot file. Here we have a property goals which will have the number of records and one getter and one setter method, and observe here that notify listener is called inside the new calls. The purpose of this notify listener is to notify to the listener. Listener is like who will be calling this getter method inside the widgets. That it will update and it will notify them this record has been updated or this goals list has been updated, and you use it to render to your list view builder or any widgets tree or any properties that has been used by other widgets. So to achieve or to use this goal provider, what we need to do is in our main component class or in a main app, we will have to wrap up this material app with a change notify provider. Change provider, and it should be a type of goal. And just import this goal provider, and inside this as notify provider it will accept one property create, and it will be context of goal. After modifying here, go to our list view where we are actually rendering the records here. Keep in mind that wherever you are using any provider, it should be the minimum widget depth. Look for that widget and wrap that widget with the change notify provider. In our case, it is a list view, so we will wrap this also with the change notify provider. Here it is same. Import this package and call our getter method available inside this goal provider, so that it will be updated once we add any record to it. Directly I can assign the value to this goals property. To call that method, you have to call this provider dot of context, and inside this of bracket you need to pass goal provider and context and goals. What it will do, it will listen all the times. You can see this goals or this provider has two parameters. One is goals and another one is context, and then is boolean listen true or false. If it is true, it will listen all the times. Now we will have this updated record inside this goals property, and this is assigned to this item count, and the item count will have some records, and it is printing the index. Instead of index, we will print the value once we store the value in the goals list which is available inside this provider goals. Once we are done here, now we need to go to that particular place where we are actually updating the record inside the model bottom sheet menu. Go to here, and this is the save method, and we need to call the same provider context. Another thing to keep in mind is that whenever you are updating any record inside a provider, you please make the listen to false, because it should not listen all the times when you are updating. Listen should be true when you are listening to the updated value in your widget tree. When you are updating the value, you should not listen all the times. And new goals, if you just go here and change the type to goal, and here new goal, and we need to pass the value available inside this text controller text. Now save it. Now just reload this application. This is the goal that I want to achieve tomorrow, so I'm going to save it. And you can see on the top, wake up at 6 a.m. This pop-up is not going once we save. For that, what we can do is navigator dot pop-up. Call this method. It will close this pop-up once it is saved. Once I reload this application, the values are gone, or the list values are disappeared, because which was the state at that moment. But once I restarted this application, it is cleared. I mean the state is gone. Now let's go and add another record. I'm going and entering my next goal is for every day is that workout for 40 minutes daily. Once I save, you can see workout for 40 minutes daily. And if I go and enter another one, sleep before 12 am, you can see these states are updating. I mean the values are updating without rebuilding all the widgets. It is only rebuilding the goal list widgets, or not even the goal list whole widgets. It is rebuilding this particular section. Sorry, this particular section. So this is the way we can achieve the state management in Flutter. There are other approaches also, like block pattern is there, getx packages are also there, and other third parties packages are available which you can use. If you would like to know about the block pattern, then please do let me know in the comment section. I will create a separate video covering all the approaches and a better solution or better approach to use block pattern. If you have any questions related to provider, then please do let me know in the comment section. I would really be happy to answer to your questions, or probably I'll be reaching you out to solve your problems. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for coming back to this channel again and again and watching this content and helping me or helping others by sharing this content. It's great. That's it for today.